Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios in West Des Moines, this is Iowa Live.
Welcome back to the program. It is time to head on out to the Blank Park Zoo and talk about a real big event that is coming up on Sunday over on the south side of Des Moines. We just have to say hi, Chris. Chris Eccles is joining us. How are you?
Good, how are you?
We are great, and we are getting so excited because it's a big day on Sunday.
It is. It's Monarch Day. One of the best times of the year is Monarch Day at the zoo.
Absolutely. Now, we are talking about something that is associated with something the Blank Park Zoo has been doing for a while now, the Plant, Grow, Fly campaign. And this has really become successful, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. We're growing in our gardens. We're getting to that goal of 2,000 registered gardens, and we'd love to have more people register their gardens with us. It's free to do. You just go to Blank Park Zoo's website and go to the Plant, Grow, Fly area and just tell us what kind of garden you have, and it's super, super easy to do.
Now, why is this so important for people to even have little gardens around the Des Moines area, even like window box gardens?
Sure. Well, every garden matters. It doesn't matter how big or small. Most pollinators don't really care. We're just making gas stations for them all around the metro and around the state of Iowa. So we just want to make sure we have nectar plants so that they have something to feed on, and host plants so they can lay their eggs on it. So those are the two important things to make sure you have in any garden. And you want to make sure also that they are blooming from spring through fall. And that's really important too.
Right. Okay. So you plant a bunch of different varieties of plants. So you do have blooms all the way around. But the one blooms that we are really want to focus on this week, especially since Sunday is Monarch Day, is the blooms that occur and the plants themselves. And we're talking about milkweed. And tell everybody why milkweed is so important. Not to cut it down. Let the milkweed grow. Why is that important?
Yes, let that milkweed grow. It's definitely very important. It's important for that monarch, for the monarch. So it's the only thing that the monarch will lay their eggs on, because it's the only thing that little caterpillar will eat throughout its whole little life cycle. So a lot of things will eat on and be on your milkweed, but it's very specific to the monarch caterpillar. So they need to have that to be able to be a monarch butterfly. So after that, they're not picky about where they get their nectar from. But milkweed is so, so important. If we cut it down, then we're not having a host plant for that monarch caterpillar to be able to grow. And
what's really exciting is seeing more and more people letting it grow, especially in ditch areas outside the city. You see it, people are not cutting it down. They're letting the milkweed grow. But I want to be real honest with you, Chris. This year, I didn't see a whole lot of monarchs, and we have a ton of milkweed in our area just east of Des Moines. There was not just the flocks of monarchs. Is that what you call it, a flock of monarchs?
Flock. I don't have to look that way.
I have no idea. But we did not see the numbers. Yeah, we did not see the numbers we've seen in the past years, and that's part of the problem.
That is a problem, yeah, and we don't. And I'm sure there's research being done right now by our partners, Monarch Joint Venture, looking at what's going on. I'm hoping maybe they're just hanging out in the shade since it was so hot this summer, but I don't know. That's just a guess on my part. But I've noticed that too, just not seeing as many as we normally will. Hopefully, the migration has started for the super generation. That's that fourth generation, and they're starting to make their way down from the north. So hopefully we'll start seeing more flying through on their way down to Mexico. So hopefully people have their flowers ready to make sure that their little bodies get nice and fat for their flight.
As a matter of fact, now that you mentioned that, it was several years ago when we just had a ton of monarchs, and that does make sense, that 4-year cycle. But they are starting to make their way down toward Mexico. And you mentioned gas stations. That's what your plants are. They need to refuel as they keep heading south, right?
Yes, that's exactly. We all like to get our drinks on the way on our road trips and our snacks. Well, so do the monarchs. So we want to make sure that we have plenty of stops along the way from Minnesota all the way down to Mexico. Have those gas stations ready.
Now, do the monarchs, when they're butterflies, do they need the milkweed, or they just need nectar plants?
They need nectar plants, but they also need places to lay their. So during the summer, they'll need places to lay the eggs. So they need it to lay their eggs, but after that, they'll go to they'll nectar off of the milkweed as well. But other plants like zinnias and bee balm and things like that, they'll get nectar from.
All right, so we have Monarch Day, Blank Park Zoo Sunday. What time do things get started?
We'll start off when we open at 10 o'clock in the morning till we'll have activities till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm hoping that rain that they talked about earlier is just early in the morning, so we can have a fun day here at the zoo.
Yeah, I think it'll be out of its system by Friday or Saturday, so Sunday should be great for Monarch Day. So make plans on heading out to the Blank Park Zoo. Chris might even strap on her Monarch butterfly wings and walk around the zoo.
Maybe I have to get those out.
Yeah, you might do that. Chris, people want to get more information on Plant, Grow, Fly, and Monarch Day. Where can they go?
They can go to our website, www.blankparkzoo.com.
All right, that sounds like a great plan, and you enjoy yourself for the rest of the day, and we will see you on Monarch Day at the Blank Park Zoo on Sunday. Bye, Chris.
Bye, Lou.
All right, see you later, and we'll see you tomorrow on Iowa Live.